one little solar experiment. I made one, and it's of course a copy and then a change, a modification of what you find on the internet for solar panel, yard lights, floodlights. So I had two kinds. I had I had one that used two small solar panels. One kept a relay on in the daytime, and the other one charged the battery used for the light. Real simple, and I have that here. I'll show you that one daytime and nighttime, and then the other one is with MOSFET, N-type MOSFET, and doesn't use two solar panels, just one. So I think you have two transistors and two resistors and a solar panel, battery, and a blocking diode. So I'll cover that. But let's look at this one. This small solar panel is rated pretty close to 5 volts. It's what I could build by combining two or more solar panels. When the sun is out, it energizes this relay, pulling down the armature, and that allows this stronger solar panel to charge this battery. Alright, here's the nighttime version when this comes on. It gets dark. This solar panel does not put out power anymore. This relay shuts off. Armature goes up. So this battery supplies power over to this light, and it comes on. Ideally, this should be a little bit stronger than this battery. You never know when clouds are going to roll in, so you want to make sure this guy's charged up. I did have this charged up to 6 volts because it's a 6-volt battery. 5 amp hours, I believe. It's a small rectangular one, kind of chunky. But I had it charged all the way up 6 volts, and that light was very bright. It was very nice. But then when this panel began to take over and charge, I didn't have a 6-volt panel, and it still worked, but it was a little disappointing. And again, the problem is right before sunset, this guy comes on, this light comes on, and you really don't need a light at this time. It's not quite dark, and that tells me that I really needed a stronger panel over here, or don't even use this at all, this whole circuit. Go back to the N-type MOSFET, no relays. Alright, here's the nighttime yard light using a 3-watt LED. 5 volt. I wish it was a 6 volt, but I got this on sale for like $7 at one of the electronic catalog places. It's a 5 volt, 1 amp, excuse me. 5 volt, 1 amp. It has a blue frame on it. Sometimes you can find these without the frames. I'm using an NPN transistor. It's like a 2N3904. Almost any basic NPN would work. The larger one is NTE 2398 or an IRF 521 N-type FET. Let's go over this. Okay, when the sun is out, this power is going to be felt over here to this base. That's going to keep Q1 on. So if Q1 is on, its resistance is low, This lower potential will be up here, felt at the gate of this FET, keeping it off. Okay, so if this FET is off, you don't have current coming through here to the LED from the battery. So basically this is off right now in the daytime. Keeping the battery charged though, that's real important. This solar panel forward biases this blocking diode, 1N5817, and is felt over here at the top of this battery, positive, negative over here to this negative side, so this solar panel charges this battery. Alright, at nighttime. Okay, the power is low here. So at night, this is considered low. Q1 is off. Its resistance goes way up. So this resistance is high compared to this 2.2 k ohm resistor. You could try other values. So this gate over here sees it as a high and it conducts. So it conducts and you have current flow from the source to the drain. So you have completed the circuit and you have current now flowing from the battery through the FET and through the LED. Of course, the LED comes on. Here's a little shot of the copper clad board that I made. This is just a crude drawing to help me do some soldering. So I had a copper clad board and I put it into a vise, and then I used a Dremel tool with a wheel or a metal, I don't know what you call it. It looks like almost a dentist drill. Some have points, some have little spherical balls on them with cutters. But I used a Dremel tool to cut out the copper, so I made little islands. So over here is a solar panel. There's a 1K resistor for that first NPN. There's the blocking diode. There's the 2.2 k ohm for the collector of this first transistor, and then here is the FET. And then I have connections for the Husky floodlight. I'm not sure if Husky is Home Depot or Lowe's. And then connections for the battery over here, and that really worked out well for this. Just clean it up, solder your components on here, and then test it out. And here is the pinout for the two transistors. One real important thing when you're designing your yard floodlight, your solar yard project, you have to know how much your floodlight, your electronics, your LED demands. How much current is this going to use? Because that tells you what size battery you're going to need. And once you've determined that, what size battery you need, that will tell you what size solar panel or panels to get. For instance, you have this, it's a little board, it's similar to the board in here. It's called COB, chip on board, whatever. It's 6 LEDs in this one. And I don't know how many amps this takes, but it takes a hell of a lot more than this little tiny. I just grabbed a blue one. Of course, you're not going to use a blue one for a floodlight. It's going to take, this takes a lot more than this tiny one LED. So you have to figure out how many hours you want this to run full blast, bright, in that portion of area of your yard. So you want to figure out amp hours. So how much current does this take per hour? That will tell you how big your battery needs to be to run this for 6, 7, 8 hours at night. Now if you have a little battery, this is just going to run for a couple of minutes and then just shut off. You don't want that. So you need a big battery, and I'm saying that is amp hours. In this video, it's going to be a 6 volt, 4.5 amp hours. So in order to charge that 6 volt battery, 4.5 amp hours, you're going to need solar panel power to fill up that battery current-wise, to charge that battery to full capacity. Oops, hope I didn't break it. In the shortest amount of time. Now you should compensate for cloudy days or a tree in the way or something. So you don't want to drain your battery all the way down to 0 and then hope your solar panel will charge it fully in the daytime. You need a little buffer in there. So determine how many hours you want this on, how much current this needs. That will tell you what size battery you need as far as amp hours. Then amp hours for your battery tells you your charge rate from your solar panel or panels. So then it's kind of like reverse engineering. So demand, battery, solar panel, and it should operate this light like all night long if you have the right setup. That's it.